Balang araw kaibigan, meron pong nababasa sa social media na ang Amerika hinihingi ng ulo ni Apollo Carayon Tibuloy. Kasi may kaso din siya rin na nakalagay sa balita, dapat na siyang ilipad sa Amerika. Ano po? Ngayon, makinig tayo.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo dyan sa Washington. Tony Enrica po ito.
Hi, hello. Good afternoon to you. Good evening.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, for taking our call. Kayo po ang tawag dito, ang kino-quote sa mga news reports na nagbalita about the extradition request ng Amerika for Pastor Quiboloy. Maaari niyo po ba sabihin, Ambassador, paano niyo po na sagap yung pong request ng Amerika? Was it first relayed to the embassy there in Washington?
No. I'd like to correct that the request was made formally through the Department of Foreign Affairs. We only got a copy of the extradition request.
So
that's essentially what it is. So the Department of Foreign Affairs has already transmitted. I am told that it's been transmitted already to the Department of Justice.
DSA.
That's the process.
Opo.
When the formal request is made, it usually goes to the Department of Foreign Affairs and then to the Department of Justice.
I see. So, parang umikot pala muna, nag-around the world, no? So, from the U.S., U.S.
So the State Department, the State Department, I guess they send it to their embassy in Manila, and then they give to DFA. But we have a copy of that because we have been, as you know, there was already some transmittals a couple of months ago when it was still Justice Secretary Boying Rebudia. They were asking for comments at that time.
Are you
Now the formal request has already been given to us through the DFA.
Are you at liberty, Mr. Ambassador, to read the contents of the formal letter?
Well, I don't really, first of all, I don't have a copy with me right now, but secondly, I think that that's something that will have to be done by our Department of Justice because they're the ones that really receive it. We're just really like the messengers, we transmit this, request is made, we transmit it. This is one of several that have been done. Of course, this is the most celebrated one and people are waiting for it. That's the reason why I guess it's become big news there in Manila.
Surely. There's some question about the, I guess, the timing, Mr. Ambassador, because how do you say it? The mere fact that Pastor Quiboloy was already publicly addressed by the FBI as a most wanted person, do you have any particular idea why it took so long for the extradition request to be made?
Well, from what there's a lot of, first of all, there's been a change. As you know, President Trump just became president only last year, no? So it's important to note that these cases have been pending in the U.S. courts for some time, even maybe a year ago or before President Trump. But of course, the process starts to move once the administration comes in. This is, of course, what we're being told. But the request for formal request really needs to be coordinated with a friendly country like the Philippines. So in other words, the United States would not just come in and say, we want this person. There is always a formal communication exchanges before a formal request is made. And that's why it took some time.
Mr. Ambassador, kailangan po ba that there must be a formal request for extradition first before the courts handling Pastor Quiboloy's cases give their, permission?
Their consent.
Or their consent for the extradition?
Yes, I think our courts have to, normally local cases takes precedent over any extradition request. And so the courts will have to be the ones technically, you will have to decide whether the cases that we have in the Philippines is going to be. We would rather have the United States that take the court, take this person extradited, and that they will try him there. If that is, from what I'm told, it is really a little bit of a complicated situation in the sense that there are people have filed cases against the pastor,
Yeah.
and so those cases have to be decided on, or these people who have filed these cases will allow their cases to take a secondary, or rather than, and that the extradition will take place, and that he will be tried in the United States, and then perhaps they can go after him
Opo.
in the United States. And that is, of course, something that I'm not a lawyer, so I guess it has to be something legal that has to be decided on by our courts.
Opo, but if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Ambassador, ang sinasabi din po kasi is we have to try it here, and then once he is sentenced, he has to carry out the sentence first before siya pwede ma-extradite to the United States. Extradite to the United States. Hindi po ba ganun yung magiging process nun?
Well, I would think that that's probably what it is. So, but, like I said, an extradition is really a treaty of some sort. And that's why there is supposed to be a mutual respect for each of our laws.
Yeah.
And normally we cooperate on cases like this, because there's been a request also. We have also requested the United States for some people who committed crimes in the Philippines. We're still working on that right now. So there are pending cases right now that we're asking for, even American citizens who have committed crimes in our country. It's pending right now, our request. It's the same thing here. Sometimes the courts in the United States, if the person is also being charged there, will allow the courts in the Philippines to take precedent over their cases.
Yeah.
So, but the problem with this case is that he has been already, from what I'm told, there are several cases. I think immigration, something to do with illegal immigration, something that he was involved in illegal immigration, and he was already indicted and or convicted on those charges. And that's the problem. He's already now a wanted criminal as far as the U.S. courts are concerned.
That's right. Mr. Ambassador, I don't know if part of your, I guess, area of expertise would cover the procedure by which someone like Pastor Quiboloy will be transferred to the custody of the U.S. authorities. Kailangan ho ba, Mr. Ambassador, na ang susundo kay Pastor Quiboloy ay manggagaling po ng Amerika o yung mga taga-Pilipinas ang maghahatid sa kanya?
No, normally the U.S. Marshals are the ones that are dispatched to come to the Philippines and pick him up. If he is a criminal that has potential of escaping, usually they send their own aircraft together with the U.S. Marshals. But this is a very serious case because it's an international crime.
Yes.
Sex trafficking and human trafficking is one of the most sought after. Those that are being accused of that is the most sought after. They're in the top list of many countries all over the world. And the United States is definitely one country that has been really going after human trafficking and sex trafficking cases.
Racketeering also. One of the, I guess, priority criminal cases in the U.S., no? Racketeering.
Yes, absolutely, yes. Because there's been, these are things that really, in the legal parlance, they're the worst of all crimes as far as people are concerned. And that's why this is something very serious that the Philippines should also be very cooperative of, because we too we have many victims in our country that are victims of sex trafficking and human trafficking. We really have to be able to work with the international community on how to resolve this request for extradition.
Mr. Ambassador, bukod po kay Pastor Quiboloy, meron mo bang mga co-conspirators or co-accused ni Pastor Quiboloy who will also be extradited, o si Pastor lang po talaga?
I'm told that there are co-conspirators that are also being requested. I'm not quite sure exactly how many they are. But there are co-conspirators or indicted people who are in the United States already being tried right now. That's what I'm told.
They are in the United States,
Yes.
Mr. Ambassador. But would you happen to know, and I nakalimutan ko rin kasi, partner, if there are some co-indicted persons din na still here in the Philippines that would need to be extradited also?
Baka yun ang kailangan pa ho siguro, Mr. Ambassador, ha?
Well, I'm sure that if these cases are connected to the crimes supposedly committed,
Uh,
then obviously there will be a request for extradition for those people too. You know, the problem really here, Tony, and because that this, like I said, this is a case that is very much on the top tier of lists of the U.S. Justice Department.
yeah.
And that's the reason why this has become something that is, would you say that we really have to take it very seriously, because if kung hindi natin i-resolve ito in a way that is satisfactorily international, masisira tayo eh. Kaya it's important that we really, our courts here
Mhm.
and our Justice Department obviously have to really look at this and how serious it is,
Okay.
on how important it is,
Mm.
and weigh what is good for for our interest. But the more important one, like I said, is that we have to cooperate with the international community, because
Yeah.
this is a crime of the highest order in terms of priority of many countries.
Yeah.
Sex trafficking and human trafficking.
Because from the purview of the Philippine Justice Department, their priority is actually first to put Pastor Kiboloy on trial, to give him his day in court, and then to either have reach a conviction on the charges against him before he can be extradited to the U.S. But from what I'm sensing from your comments, Mr. Ambassador, is that the DOJ can waive their rights over Kiboloy and then have him immediately sent to the U.S. because of the nature of his offenses in the U.S.
Well, the nature of the international crime that was
Yeah,
committed
okay.
is what I'm saying. In other words, what I'm saying is that because we are part of the international community, we observe the rule of law internationally.
Mm.
We expect countries to abide by our laws, like we abide by other countries' laws, normal international norms. So this is why it's important. But we have to be clear, it's not going to be the Department of Justice. It is those that filed cases against the pastor that will have to agree, basically, because the courts will finally be the one that will decide
Mhm.
whether these cases can be put aside
Mhm.
and in favor of extraditing Mr. Kibuloy.
Okay. So to be clear, you actually do know, Mr. Ambassador, that the consent of the
Local,
the complainants,
Yeah,
the
the
private
local-
complainants, will have to be how do you say it, granted before the extradition can take place. The private
Yes,
complainants.
absolutely. Yeah, that's in our law. It is part of our laws. In other words, local cases have to take precedent over any
Yeah.
cases or cases for extradition.
So if the private
The only-
complainants here, I'm sorry to interrupt. If the private
Yeah.
complainants here, Mr. Ambassador, refuse to have Mr. Kibolay extradited before his cases are resolved here in the Philippines,
He
then
has
the
to decide
extradition can be delayed.
Oh yeah, I assume that that's the case because, like I said,
Yeah.
our courts have preceded over take preceded over any extradition request. The only problem, like I said, is that this is such an international crime that we have to weigh the repercussions of whether we, depending on what kind of crimes he has committed in the United States. And I assume it is human trafficking and sex trafficking. Now, the cases I think that's been filed here are the victims of his supposedly or allegedly were part of that sex trafficking that he committed. No,
Yeah.
so we don't know. But the bottom line, as I said, is that this is such an international case that we have to weigh it on that basis. It's not a normal case. Like for instance, if one who has committed murder
Yeah.
in a country,
Yeah.
it's very clear,
Yeah.
the victim is, let's say, from the Philippines, and he committed the crime here, and he committed a crime in the United States, similar. Obviously, we would like to resolve that case here,
That-
because murder is something that happens in the country where it was, where
It was
the
committed.
victim was, or those that filed the case,
Yeah.
it took place in the country. Pero ito, iba ito eh. This is international crime, is what I'm saying.
What I'm going to be asking might be a reach, Mr. Ambassador, when I ask you of this. If he ever might be extradited to the United States, tried and heard there, and finally sentenced, is it possible for the complainants here in the Philippines to ask of his sentence to be served dito na lang sa Pilipinas so they can say that their justice might also be served in the same way?
Well, I cannot answer you because I don't know what the laws are. But if he's convicted in the United States, he will have to serve there.
Mhm.
But if he was not convicted here, therefore, what is the reason why he will be served here? No?
Mhm, mhm,
So, ganun yun eh.
mhm,
But if he is convicted here and then we send him to the United States and convicted there,
mhm,
then he will serve 2 sentences, one here and one in the United States.
mhm, mhm.
But
So-
at the end of the day, like I said,
Yeah.
because this is we have a relationship with the United States. We have an extradition case, which is basically like a treaty. Then we have to, our Department of Justice and the Department of Justice in the United States have to agree on a common way of how to handle this particular case.
Mhm.
I see.
What is
Okay.
best so that it will resolve the issues of victims
Yeah.
that were committed here and the victims that also were
Uh-huh.
in the United States. No?
Okay.
That's basically what it is.
Mhm.
Sige. Mr. Ambassador, nanood ba kayo ng tennis dyan sa DC?
Well, everybody watched. Who doesn't? Who will not watch Alex here? I can tell you that she is like a hero here with the Filipino community. But more
Yeah.
importantly, I always said that, alam mo, ang mga Pilipino talaga, if you give them the right atmosphere,
Oh.
whether you're a tennis player or you're an athlete or you're an OFW,
Yeah.
bigyan mo lang ng tamang atmosphere, they will excel and do well. Eh.
Mhm.
Kaya nga, I'm always praying that our country will have something like that. Eh. Kung
Right.
meron lang tayong the atmosphere to make people, we
Yeah.
can be one of the best countries in the world.
I agree.
Because we have the human resources.
I
We
agree.
have the people.
Yeah.
It's the people that make the country. Eh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wala na kayong chance mag-host ng diplomatic embassy reception for Alex Ayala.
Eh, wala na, nasa
Canada
Toronto na eh.
Umalis ka agad eh.
Oo, nasa Toronto na.
Nakapag nag-posting lang ng mga photos sa
Sa ano
But I'm sure she will be, well, of course we will be honored to
Apo.
honor her.
Yeah.
Everybody, we have 4.5 billion Filipino Americans in the United States. Everybody is happy.
Yeah. Saka ang daming
Once
Pinoy.
we're united in one.
Yeah,
We're
ang dami.
very proud of her.
True.
At least si Alex Ayala ipagmamalaki natin, no? Hindi naman yung si Pastor Kibo. Medyo mabawi man lang, ma-offset man lang na konti.
Pero alam mo, Tony, our image in the United States is, I can tell you,
What?
is the best image because
Oh.
lahat ng ating mga workers dito or people who are working in the communities, they're
Oh.
so much appreciated. Eh.
I know.
Kaya, yung mga a few people that, that's why lagi ko sinasabi those that can be deported. Pag talagang hindi pwede kayo maiwan sa Amerika, mag-voluntary departure na lang kayo because it is a crime to be staying in the United States now illegally, especially with the Trump administration's policies on immigration.
Opo.
Kaya kailangan talaga, the law, yun lang naman ang kailangan natin eh.
Opo.
And then, all those that voluntarily leave have a chance to come back.
Opo.
You see? Ayaw ko lang yung madidetain sila for months on end kasi that's a long process.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be in a detention cell for 6 months to even a year,
So, grabe yun.
depending on what kind, kung anong klaseng kaso mo eh.
Tsaka mahirap tayo na wala kang contact sa
But there are
mga...
only a few of that eh.
Opo.
Technically, we're not being targeted, people are very, very appreciative of the Filipino here, believe me.
Oo,
Iba
tsaka...
talaga ang Filipino eh. That's the reason why I really am so happy whenever we have something like this, like Alex Ayala winning the
Yeah.
champion, being a champion tennis player.
Yes. Saka at least,
Bagay yan eh.
At least po, Mr. Ambassador, no, dito sa Pilipinas, hindi lang po impeachment court ang pinag-uusapan. Tennis court din. Oo.
That's a very witty thing to say.
Mr. Ambassador, Rika and I would like to thank you.
Thank
and
you for your time.
we would
Mr.
like to
Ambassador.
allow you to take your breakfast already in Washington.
Well, thank you very much. I will do so.
Thank you so.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, Mr. Ambassador. Salamat po.
Sige, salamat rin. Thank you. Thank you.
po. At salamat po sa ating taga-hawak ng cellphone. Nangalay siya. Parang
30 minutes.
parang naglaro ng tennis. Si
Oo.
Tin, our incredible great
kailangan dali sa Amerika si Kibuloy para pagbayaran yung kanyang kaso doon, why not? Ibigay na kasi wala naman nakabimbing kaso dito yung si Kibuloy. Ibigay na lang para ano man ginawa niyang kamanyakan din sa Amerika. Kaya manyak talaga ito eh. Akala nyo, ano sabi niya nung araw? Kapag yung mga pastoral niya, na virgin niya, sasabihin niya, virgin ka pa. Ibang klase, no? May pagkamanyak talaga. Na virgin mo na, sabihin mo, virgin pa siya. Kasi nga daw, lingkod ng Diyos ang bumirgin sa kanya. Karimari-marim! Kaya dapat lang. Hindi, sa totoo lang, kung akong tatanong niyo, yung pinakamabigat na parusa. Kasi walang respeto sa babae yan eh. Kaya hindi siya nag-asawa. Manyak pala siya. Manyak siya. Walang respeto. Nakakita ko nga appointed siya ka ng God. Meron bang appointed siya ng God na manyak? Mr. Apollo, Karyong Kibuloy? Wala. Ang appointed siya ng God, meron man na, hindi ikaw yan. Manyak ka eh. Hubot ka ng manyak. Sige po, ito pang inyong kaibigan, Jesus Brother Manny Bautista. God bless us all. Bye. Lagi kayo mag-pray dahil mainit ang panahon. At may bagyo-bagyo at mainit pa ang politika sa ating bansa. Sige po. Bye-bye. God bless us all. Bye-bye.